What's good, y'all? L Famous, living my life, not thinking about it twice. Don't be scared to like or subscribe or to share this dope content if you like it, you heard? Let's get it, man. Yeah, man, let's get it. Now this joint right here is about a dude, you know what I'm saying, that wasn't down with no gang, you know what I'm saying, and he was official, you know what I'm saying, and if he would have never got down with a gang, he'd probably be all right today, man, or the mother, man, you know what I'm saying. Now this story right here goes back to 1996, early 1996, you know what I'm saying, caught my case, you know what I'm saying, was in a Bronx house, you heard? You know what I'm saying? They had me in the Bronx house. Everybody remember the Bronx house, you heard? So it was crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? Every borough had a house, you know what I'm saying? Had a building. You know what I'm saying? You had the Brooklyn house, you had the Bronx house, you had the Manhattan Tombs, you had the Queens house, you know what I'm saying? You heard? And I don't know if they still got those joints, but I know when I was going to prison, when I was younger, they had the Bronx house. And when I went to the Bronx house, it was smooth, man. It was smooth, man. You know what I'm saying? They had a little gym in there. You heard? I ain't like the Bronx house because the yard was on the roof, B. The yard was on the roof. Yeah, man. They had that yard on the roof, man. I was looking like niggas playing basketball, shooting hoops and all that. I'm like, man, listen, man, I ain't doing none of this on this jumping roof, you heard? They bugging with this roof, you heard? I ain't doing nothing on this roof. To make a long story short, about 3 weeks after being in the Bronx house, they packed us up, you know what I'm saying? They packed us up. They say, yo, man, you pack up, you pack up, you pack up, you pack up, you pack up. 7 cell, pack up. 8 cell, pack up. 20 cell, pack up. 15 cell, pack up. Everybody, pack up. Y'all out of here. Where we going, man? Damn, it's only on the Bronx house for 3 weeks. Yeah, well, that's how long high classification stay in there. High classifications only stay there about 2 weeks to 3 weeks, then they get you out of there. They send you to the island. They ain't playing with you. They got you rolling, B. They not playing with you. They got you on that bus. You won't be smiling on Rikers Island. But guess what, y'all? I'm 19. You heard? I'm 19 going on 20. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the Bronx house. I'm adult. Ain't no more that adolescent. I'm adult. Adult. Go to adults. Guess where they send me, y'all? High classification, HDM, House of Dangerous Men. Yeah, House of Dangerous Men. We was open up 5 block, y'all. 5 block was the box, you heard? 5 blocks was the box for the adults. You know what I'm saying? So we was opening up 5 block. So boom. They took dudes from the Queens house. They took dudes from the Bronx house. They took dudes from the Tombs. They took dudes from Brooklyn house. You heard? And they took a sprinkle of dudes from the Beacon and other places. You heard? And they brought them to 5 block. You heard? So when we first got there, you know what I'm saying? It was a lot of tension. It was a lot of tension. And I remember you had Superb and a few dudes that came from out of Queens, you know what I'm saying? You got Superb, God bless the dead, from out of Far Rockaway. That was my dude. That was my dude. Me and him was like the littlest dudes in the house, you heard? Me and him was like the youngest dudes in the house, you heard? Me and Superb, you heard? Me and Perb was like the youngest dudes in the house. You know what I'm saying? Then you had MK, then you had Rambo, then you had BB, you know what I'm saying? Diesel BB from out of Brooklyn had 25 in, you know what I'm saying? Crazy Diesel looked like something out the book, you know what I'm saying? Then you had a dude named Preem Guard, you know what I'm saying? You had Vic from 6 Sav Murder Unit, you heard? 6 Sav from Murder Unit, you know what I'm saying? My guy Vic, you know what I'm saying? We all came from the Bronx house together. Me, him, dude named Joe from Webster, you know what I'm saying? That was down with the 50 Mad, you know what I'm saying? And we had a nice little Bronx team. We had a nice little Bronx team. You know what I'm saying? Then like I told you, you had Superb and a whole bunch of Queens dudes that came. They was together, but most of the Queens dudes was guard body. Superb, Tyreek, different, you know, everybody that was rolling from Queens, came from the Queens house. They was all mostly guard body, so they was on their guard body joint. You know what I'm saying, sticking together. You know what I'm saying, through any kind of weather. You know what I'm saying. And then you Then you had some Latin King dudes, you know what I'm saying? You had some Spanish dudes that came from the Bronx that was in the Bronx house with me. And they was Latin King, you know what I'm saying? Then you had MK and them dudes from out of the Tombs, you know what I'm saying? From out of MK from out of the Lower East Side, you heard? Got the brother named Peachy, that's my bro, you know what I'm saying? Peachy is my bro, you know what I'm saying? Love you, Peachy, wherever you at, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, the MK, Peachy, you know what I'm saying? Peachy wasn't there, it was MK and a bunch of Spanish dudes from the Lower East, you heard? And they was keeping it official. They was crazy tight. And MK was the leader of them dudes, you know what I'm saying? MK, you know what I'm saying, grabbed the phone, you know what I'm saying? He said, this is a neutral Spanish phone, you heard? This ain't no gang, this ain't no Latin King phone, this is a neutral Spanish phone. This is what MK said, you know what I'm saying? Then me, Vic, and BB, we grabbed the neutral black phone. Then you had the other phone was getting split by the guard bodies and the Latin Kings, you heard? Yeah, that's what was splitting the other phone. The guard bodies and the Latin Kings, you heard? You know what I'm saying? And then, so, you know, everything was it was mad tension at first. The first 5 days in the house, it was mad tension, you heard? So boom, you had this black dude that was rolling with us, like he was kind of neutral, you heard? But you know how you get a nigga that jumped the gun? You heard? Like, we all in the back having a meeting about the phones, you heard? And about who gonna be getting on the phones on side time and all that, you heard? So I'm in the back, BB in the back, Vic in the back, you know what I'm saying? Rambo in the back, and this other black dude was in the back. And I remember this dude had a big cut on his face, you heard? And he was in the back. So boom, when he came, when we was all in the back, then you had MK and all the Spanish dudes in the back from the Lower East Side that was getting their slot time on their phone. Then you had the guard body dudes from Far Rockaway, Queens, mainly. Most of them was from Far Rockaway, Queens, Superb, Taekwon and all of them. They was, you know what I'm saying, they was all in the back too to discuss about their phone. So boom, niggas was talking about the phone, and I remember MK like, yeah, word up, this and that and this, you know what I'm saying? My phone is not no Latin King or none of that phone. My phone is a neutral phone, you heard? Because MK was neutral at the time. MK wasn't down with nothing. So he was like, my phone is the neutral phone. So I remember the black kid that was with us that was neutral was like, I don't know why he had some type of energy towards MK, but he said something to MK, you heard? And I just remember MK pulling out a banger, you heard, in the back. And anybody know HDM, you could get bangers from out the floor, you heard? You know what I'm saying? He pulled out a banger from out the floor, you heard? Because in HDM, around the whole HDM, they got brass, you heard? Brass in the floor. And dudes dig that brass up and make bangers out of it. So then MK pulled out a brass banger from out the floor, you heard? We only was in the house for like 5 days and he already had a brass banger from off the floor, right? So boom, next thing you know, he pulls out the banger, and then the black dude that got the cut on his face that's with us, he pulls out a banger. And he goes, what's up? So now they dancing. So MK is mad bigger than him, you heard? But the dude was trying to dance. Boom, when MK went to swing at the dude ducked it, and dude started running, you heard? Now, anybody that been in HDM know that it's like 3 floors to HDM. 3 tiers. The top tier is closed down. There's only 2 tiers that they had open. The first tier and the second tier. The third tier was closed down. So the dude, now I told y'all we in the back, and they have a middle staircase on the tiers. They have double tiers, you heard? It's long tiers, double tiers. And the dude tried to run up the tier. So everybody that was in the back started chasing the nigga, you heard? So now you see MK and all the Spanish dudes, they trying to cut the nigga off, you heard? They trying to cut the nigga off. They trying to get the nigga and cut the nigga off. Yo, get him from that way, no, I'm gonna get him this way, I'm gonna get him from that way. Boom. So boom, all the black dudes is looking like, damn, we don't know what to do because we don't. This dude just did some. He just faked a jack on MK to make MK pull out his banger and chase him down. You heard? He act like he was gonna go gun to gun, but he really wasn't going gun to gun. The nigga, he wanted to go gun to gun, but he got scared at the last minute. You know what I'm saying? So boom, because he seen how real MK was. MK, I guess dudes thought that MK was just fronting. Nah, B. MK was not fronting, B. That nigga pulled out that banger and went to stab that nigga, B. You heard? And MK's a big dude, you know what I'm saying? A big dude, you know what I'm saying? And that dude started running. So, you know, we watched the dude run. And the dude ran all the way to the bubble. Like he ran up, then he ran up the steps on the second floor, ran down the tier. Them niggas tried to cut him off at the other end of the tier at the bottom. Before he get to the CO, that nigga jumped up down them steps, was banging on that gate. Get me out of here, get me out of here, you heard? Get me out of here, you heard? Get me out of here. Niggas got him out of there, you heard? So boom. Then after that, that's when MK knocked the dude out in the TV room because the dude said something, you heard? You know what I'm saying? MK was mad aggressive, you heard? He was letting dudes know, yo, I ain't with that bull crap. I ain't with none of that racist shit, and I ain't with none of that niggas trying to play with me, you heard? I'm doing it to niggas. I'm demoing niggas, you heard? He knocked the nigga square out, you know what I'm saying, just for saying some light shit. And then a nigga was started beefing with him because he was laying it down about how his phone and everything was gonna be ran. And the nigga was like, yo man, how y'all niggas was gonna have a phone? There's only a little bit of y'all. That nigga MK said, what nigga? I'm ready to do whatever for this phone. You heard? And nigga was like, what? I'm ready to do whatever too. And the nigga, MK pulled out his banger and homeboy pulled out his banger. Then they danced around for a minute and then homeboy got scared and ran. You know what I'm saying? And MK chased the nigga down and other Spanish dudes that came with MK from the tunes, they helped try to chase the nigga down, but homeboy was gone, you heard? Homeboy jumped, ran up on the second tier, ran down the tier, then ran up the stairs to the third tier, then ran back down the tier, was playing freeze tag with them niggas, you heard? Boom. CO got him out of there, you heard? He ain't get injured, you know what I'm saying? He ain't get injured, you know what I'm saying? I was happy for him, you heard? I didn't want that dude to get banged up because he was an official cat. It's just that he speeded, you know what I'm saying? He jumped the gun. He didn't know that MK was official, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes when dudes is giving a little speech, you gotta let dudes say what they want to say, you heard? Because you'll never know who dudes is, you know what I'm saying? So nowadays, you know what I'm saying? And then down the line, I heard MK had turned Don Moon, you know what I'm saying? And I heard he was putting in work when he was Don Moon. So when I heard he was putting in work when he was Don Moon, I was not surprised, B. I was not surprised, you heard? I was not surprised, B. You know what I'm saying? When I heard him putting in that work when he was Don Moon. You know what I'm saying? For years, I was hearing that he was putting in that work. You know what I'm saying? And now, that was 1996. Now we in the 2022, 23. We in 23 right now. But just last year, they put together a big indictment and they took down MK. You heard? For being a part of that blood shit. You know what I'm saying? And I want to tell y'all dudes, man, all that blood shit, all that gang shit, that shit ain't always what it's cracked up to be, you know what I'm saying? You heard? MK was a real brother before he was Don Moon. You know what I'm saying? He was a real brother before he was Don Moon. You know what I'm saying? And when he was with that shit, he probably had that shit on his back. You know what I'm saying? Now look, he older, you know what I'm saying, much wiser, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Been through so much. Cause I heard he went to the feds, and I heard he was back in the state or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling y'all like this, man. They just went and got him, man. And that was 1996 when I was with MK. You heard? March of 1996, we was in HDM. You heard? 5 block. We opened it up. You know what I'm saying? It was the Bing for adults in HDM. You know what I'm saying? And they closed it down, and they opened it up with fresh buildings, you know what I'm saying? The Bronx house, the Brooklyn house, the Tunes, the Queens house, you know what I'm saying? And it was a lot of real cats that came there, you know what I'm saying? And MK was just one of them. MK was just one of them. Like I told you, you had Rambo from Brooklyn, you had BB from Brooklyn, you had Vic 6'7" from the Bronx. You had Joe from the Bronx. You had me from the Bronx. You had a lot of people. You had Superb and them from Queens. You had Tyquan and them from Queens, from Far Rockaway. You know what I'm saying? You had some official cats, man. You know what I'm saying? You heard? Had some official cats. So, yo, man, I hope everything worked out for MK, man, because he was a good dude. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't one of them dudes that was running around fronting, you know what I'm saying, herb destroying, you know what I'm saying? He want to get it on with the real. He want to get it on with the real. You know what I'm saying? He want to get it on with the real. He don't want to get it on with the fake. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to get it on with the fake. You heard?